Hello. Barrel. Hey, everybody. Live. I know we're not doing the normal monsters with effects things again, but we will be going back to that next week, probably. Yes, what's up? Yeah, so next week we'll be going back to that, but I want to do like a commentary over the grand finals, so there's a place that just people could just bam watch it. Let me mute that real quick. I'm adding background music to it. Also, I moved my webcam to like the center of my monitor, so I'm not like on the side of it. Hopefully, it looks good. It feels like it's fairly closer. But I think this should be a lot of fun. Can Jar agree back to when exile is tributed? Uh, yes. Well, can it be? I don't think it can be. I think you can like chain it like when the effect technically activates, but not like as a cost. Which, by the way, let me. I'm gonna link the video itself for Goat format, so you can actually like if you want to go watch it yourself, plus like the stuff afterwards, because we're not gonna listen to like anything before or after the match. We're just gonna watch the match by itself. Oh yeah, yeah. I watched Trooper stuff. Yeah, I'm a big fan of the format. Glad he finally got to that. Rain Ryan. Oh yeah, I saw a deck. The reason I posted that looked pretty fun. So I'm gonna post this, and then I am going to pin the message. So I don't act like I'm like, oh, I'm just taking their stream. Like, nah, I'm. This is just for the specific thing is what's going on here. And I guess with that said, let's hit this music. Let me know if like the music is like too quiet or too loud. Should be looping. But let's get started, shall we? So the finals is Charlie Coke and Habe Kian Angst, however you pronounce that, which is Anthony Alvarado, familiar man of this channel, as I interviewed him on the In the Zone podcast. So if you haven't checked that out, check it out. So what we got here is Chaos Control on Charlie Coke's side, and then Chaos Turbo on Alvarado's side, which is interesting that we're getting. It's not a CT mirror. It's nothing like too crazy spicy like we saw in previous years. Like it was a Chaos Return a couple years ago. While we got like fairly similar decks. Chaos Control is a little bit surprising, but I'm glad to see it because it's like goat control basically, both a little bit more firepower, a little less deep into the control, which I'm a little bit iffy when it comes to like Chaos Control, just because I feel like a deck should commit to something instead of trying to find like the best of both the worlds. But that said, I've seen Anthony Alvarado's list, and it is not like the traditional list he typically runs. Because typically he does run like, your kind of standard Chaos Control or Chaos Turbo with 21 monsters and like Trap Dust Shoots and Raigeki Breaks. His deck is a little bit different. It's 20 monsters, flat 20, with a lot of 3-ofs. Magician of Faiths, Dekoichi, that kind of stuff. No Night Assailant, Book of Moons, no Trap Dust Shoot in the main deck, which might be like the most controversial thing. But I think Alvarado did a good job in regards to like building the deck to fight other decks, not just mirror matches. Because I mean, how many mirror matches has this guy played? This guy is like the GOAT of GOAT format. He's been on a tear this year. He is a natural winner in the historical GOAT format. But Charlie Koch, is no one to mess around with either. I mean, obviously, if you're getting this far, like, you're facing up a lot of really tough people. I'm struggling hard against Big City and Trooper as well. Ooh, Big City. That's the hero one, right? We got a Graceful Charity. What's he gonna do? It's always hard when you have a lot of cards with Graceful and you don't know what to discard. Because the thing with GOAT format, it is such a chess game. Ooh, the Assailant and the Spy. When you got Graceful and Knight Assailant, you're sitting pretty. Yeah, Go is such like a chess game because any single move can just snowball into a game win or game loss. Like, and it could start at a very early stage depending on how you play. And that's what I really like about high-level GOAT format specifically, where you see all these very well thought out like micro plays. 6 Samurai got in Demise format tournament finals. Oh, interesting. 6 Sam? Interesting. Never really heard about 6 Sams for quite some time after they came out. But what do you all prefer? Do you all prefer like Raigeki Break or Phoenix Wing Wind Blast? Personally, I'm a Raigeki Break guy because that's the card I had like back then, and I really like it. And I like the simplicity of just popping a card instead of spinning it up to the top. But obviously, it depends on the format. Depends on like your meta. Like Chaos Turbo. There's never going to be a de facto deck list. It's always going to kind of they're going to look similar, but they're going to like mesh and evolve to whatever suits the meta. Where I think that's where Chaos Control gets an advantage, where it's not as common as like some other decks, right? It's kind of like in the middle of certain things, so it's a little bit tougher to play against. But I do believe all the duelists here have an understanding. I think they all know all the decks that each other are playing. I think the deck lists are available for the individual people. Again, let me know if the background music is too quiet or too loud, because I guess I could check myself, but desktop audio off. Yeah, I could probably check. Yeah, it's probably fine. Also, make sure to stay hydrated. And if you're enjoying the stream, make sure to like it and potentially even share it out. Any engagement helps get the channel out to more people and whatnot, even if you don't feel like donating or anything. But Knock on the Spy. That's a good one. Spy's such an annoying card, isn't it? Like a 2K defender that can special summon another one from deck in defense mode. Like, it's wild, right? That this card was just always sitting at 3. Or that, like, it didn't have to summon a Spy. Like, if it had to summon, like, another Gravekeeper that wasn't a Spy, or if it had a special summon in attack mode. Like, there's all these things that Konami could have put on Spy to make it not kind of bonkers. Like, they're definitely thinking, oh, this is just going to be playing Gravekeepers. Like, I don't think they had, like, the splash ability in other decks in mind whatsoever. But it makes all sense in the world. But what's also a great defender are the Scapegoats. Ooh, I mean, it's 4 monsters. The thing with Scapegoat is, like, it really slows the game down unless you really do have that specific counter, right? Like a Lightning Storm or an Asura Priest. Because even, like, BLS, you only take care of 2 at a time, And you got that Thousand Eyes trick that just slows. See, this is where the control part and where Go control really kicks in. Like, once they start getting their stuff, they play at their pace and they just slow things down to a crawl. And I kind of love to see it because that is like, you know, the heart of GOAT format. Is it the heart and the soul, or is it just the heart and something else is the soul? But like I love to see it. Like I'm just happy it is not just Chaos Turbo mirrors. Because I think it was last year, the World Championship last year, where like everyone was just playing Chaos Turbo, and it was kind of depressing. Like there was a period of time it was kind of depressing GOAT format, but I feel like it's picking itself back up, which I'm glad to see. Um, Even as other like Time Wizard formats are like coming, you know, are really coming up, right? Like Edison's been having a huge boom. Taking place in kind of a hat form apparently is like a boom, and some other retro formats like kind of all around. And I am all here for it. I'm here for the Trooper. I'm here for the treasure format or fiber format. Imperial, like all these really fun like retro formats. Even though obviously GOAT is pretty up there for me. Like especially something like Worlds, right? Where like, this is the kind of games you want to watch is the World Championships. So if you do like these, I do implore you to check out the pinned comment and watch like the whole 2-day stream if you're up for the challenge. Even just like day 2. Like, I was kind of in and out during the weekend, so I wasn't, like, there for the whole thing. But I was there for a good chunk of day 1, at least. Tsukiyomi. Tsukiyomi is Thousand Eyes Restrict poison. And you can tell Alvarado kind of was, like, planning for this in advance. By having, like, the Sook and the Book of Moons. Because also he's running a lot of flips, too. So, like, it all goes together, and it's great to counter certain strategies. But, of course, you still got to deal with the goats. And if they keep goats up, and you can, like, metamorphosize them, like... But then Tsukiyomi is just, like... it goes back to your hand. It is such a troublesome card, you know? So, I love these, like, pictures, like, Alvarado's picture of the Zombyra. Great. All right, Geki break. See, Charlie knew. Charlie knew. Is like, that suit gotta go. That is like the bane of my existence, and it's gotta go. Uses the RB right on that. And we are watching in like this. This isn't live, but I'm watching with like normal speed. If you think I should like speed it up a little bit, just let me know. On the TTs. TT is another way to take care of goats, but you only got one in your deck. That could potentially backfire, but like sometimes you gotta do it. Especially with when they slap down a breaker on the board, get rid of other cards. Like you need to hit that before that hits potentially another one of your back rows. Even though you got Alvarado's got Jar Agree, so we could have another card he could have just chained. Yo, almost what's up? We put on double speed. I can increase the speed up. I'll do 1.5. I don't know if I'll do double, but let's do 1.5 and we'll see from there. Like this should take, you know, like this should be like just the primary thing of the stream tonight, which should be a reasonable, you know, length of time. It's Charlie Coke's turn. See, now this is like setting, like this is Yu-Gi-Oh! But he's MSCing that one card is like, you're setting something, I don't want to see it, let's just get rid of it. And sometimes that's just the mindset with a blind MST, right? You just have to go off of feels. The stream, yeah, but we're not watching the whole stream though. This is just we're just watching the grand finals. The day 2 is 8 hours 44 minutes and some change. Yeah, like I'm basically just doing this because like you know, I think it'd be fun to talk over the grand finals, and also for people who just want to watch the grand finals, like, bam, like you can find it right here on the Janjo Zone, easy peasy. The SERP goes back. You know what I think about the SERP? I always forget about the SERP. Any SERP forgetters in chat? Yeah, something I feel like something I noticed that Alvarado does a lot. Like, he is constantly checking the grave, like both graves. Like, he's like, I want to know what I'm doing is like the right move. Some people can complain about slow play. You know, I think given the current like you know, it being a grand finals and whatnot, and go for it, just kind of being slower in general. You know, I don't think it's slow play. Especially people that play more modern formats and go back to like GOAT format, they just defaultly play slower. Yeah, you can go back to like some of the duels I've had on my channel, or I'm just forgetting SERP like the whole duel. The set meta on the SERP, that's great. It's great because you set the SERP so your opponent can't like, you know, like TT it basically, even though he's already used his TT. But they won't know what it's set anyway, so they're more likely to not do something on it. Where then you can meta, because Metamorph can work on regardless of like the position. That's why, you know, if you do want to play it like that, you would want to set it. Because if you normal summon a SERP, you know, like, all right, they're going to be doing something, right? Like Metamorphosis or Creature Swap, something like that. Yo, Plyuri, what's up? Slow duel is a charm at this area. It really is. It really is. And I like it. I like when you get to those, like, really grind games. Like, certain formats have a good speed and power level. Like, I really like Hat format for that. But there's something about, like, the back and forth of, like, the DM era formats. Especially, like, Critter formats, stuff like that, that I really enjoy. And definitely see it here, even with Chaos Turbo, but Chaos Control, like, slows it down. And when you get slowed down, that's where Control can really start, like, picking the board apart. Especially with a Delinquent Duo, you know? Hey, first like. Thank you, ever. Like the stream. Remember, liking the stream helps the channel, because engagement, YouTube likes that. The Al Gore rhythm. Oh, and he's chaining the Raigeki break. See, he's thinking, like, well, if I'm going to lose this card, which is the Snatch Shield, which is a really good card to lose. But yeah, beware of the Man Bear Pig. And that's the power of, like, chain cards, too. Like, he didn't have to use it. Like, there could always be an argument of, like, saving it for something, like, really crucial. But if you're losing that card anyway, it's like, what better time? Especially with a Mirror Force on the BLS. Ow. That is protagonist energy right there. Hey, we got 3 likes. We're almost up to 5. That's crazy. Just need 2 more. Yeah, I was contemplating if I even wanted to, like, do the stream, or if I wanted to do the normal monsters with effects again, but I'm like, this is fresh. We'll do this. We'll save the effects thing for next week. Also, Top Deck Guys next week as well. It'll be a zombie-themed episode. Very spooky duels going on. That'll be Wednesday and Thursday. Top Deck Guys Wednesday, Janjo Live on Thursday. So with the BLS gone, like, it was at least summoned properly, so, like, if Charlie Cook's running, like, Call or Prima, he could bring it back. Really makes you happy that, like, Monster Reborn isn't in this format, right? Like, if that was Charlie. Oh, and the Scapegoat just saying, like, bam, I'm good. That's where the slow play works for Control, because you can have stuff like Thousand Eyes, Restrict, and BLS, and still have those 4 slots open for Scapegoat. Because that is something you do have to manage as well, that I feel like people don't, like, consider. when playing these decks is like having the opportunities for goat to activate goats. Because if you got 3 monsters, you can't activate it, right? It doesn't summon 3 goats. Like, you need those 4 spaces. Yeah, I think 1.5 was a good call. Good call. Because I think I did time the finals just so I knew what I was getting myself into, and it is about an hour 40. So I guess a long final to be playing. Yeah, I mean with control, you just kind of have to survive basically. Let your opponent kind of do their thing, and then once the opportunity is like, all right, now I can like start like now it's really like rope-a-doping for those who are like aware of like boxing terminology, right? You're kind of pretending to get like, you know, you're on the ropes and you're doing your thing, but your opponent gets tired, and then you bam bam you get back in there and just wreck them. Hey, Wheels Neil, what's up? Zombira, the mo-fuggin' dark boy. Yeah. The Zombira the Dank. Like I love Go Control personally, yeah, but it is very hard to play Chaos Control. I haven't really experimented with or anything like that. But I can see the advantages of it basically. You know, just a little bit more defensive turbo. Oh, and the trap does shoot after the Pot of Greed. Oh, but he's saying hold because Anthony Alvarado, I think, still has player priority. Oh, wow. You hate to see it. That's such an awkward thing to happen, right? When you... Because he shotgunned that. It's always awkward when you activate a card, your opponent's like, wait a minute, I have a response. Like, within a reasonable time, and you're like, crap, now I know the card. Or you activate a card that can't be activated, which I feel like I do all the time. I'm like, don't see that. Float like a Sandgan, single like Injection, Fairy Lily. Yeah. Unfortunately, I don't think anyone's playing Lily, which is sad. Someone should play Lily in like a more standard GOAT format deck, I think. That would be fun. I would love to see that. Got that classic T. Oh, pitching the Thunder Dragon? Yeah, you can just pitch a Thunder Dragon just to pitch it. You don't even have to use its effect. Well, technically using its effect, but like if you don't have a target, but you can still pitch it for cost, which is a neat interaction. DD Silent is my favorite monster play that people don't see coming. DD Silent's pretty good, yeah. I mean, it's really the most unfortunate aspect that it's an Earth. But, like, you could play in warrior decks, really. You just never really see it over other monsters. It is a little bit more, like, finicky, but it does have like, good attack. Yeah, I'm a fan of Assailant. Like, it's not as good as Warrior Lady, but... I mean, 200 attack can go a long way. Like, beating over certain things. It's just, like, when like, the top-tier cards are so... You know, specific... It's usually hard to justify like other things in there that isn't like a, you know, like a tribe infecting virus kind of stuff. But you at least see it in like Earth decks though, right? Like the Earth aggro. Yeah, unfortunately, DD Warrior isn't legal, but you do get Warrior Lady and Assailant, so you get, you know, solid DDs in this. I don't know if you've really seen like burn decks in GOAT format though. We're almost at 5 likes, people. Come on, just need one more. Yeah, now this duel's really getting down to it. It's at 9 cards on a Charlie and 10 for AA in the deck. Like they're getting down to it. And this is where you don't want to see it. No burn. Oh, there are burn decks. I'm saying I don't recall seeing like assailants and like DD stuff in burn decks. Like there's definitely burn decks. Definitely burn decks. They're pretty scary. They are very, very good decks. Like I think Pui was playing I think she was playing a burn deck at Worlds. So I could be wrong. What's good about Thunder Dragon? I've always thought it was a bad card. Surprised to see it here. So Thunder Dragon is good. I mean, one, it deck thins, but also it, in addition to that, it dumps a light and gray for free, but then, you know, and it also lets you have basically free discard fodder for cards too, like Raigeki Break or Phoenix Wing Windblast. So it has those things going for it too. Especially because like there's so many good dark monsters and like light monsters, it's a little slim pickings for the most part for like pretty solid cards, right? You got DD Warrior Lady, which sometimes may or may not even be in the graveyard. So having Thunder Dragon there to just get those free lights is really good. You can also do some certain more kind of janky plays, like Tribute over with like a Snatch Steal, or potentially Creature Swap, potentially even use like Metamorphosis with it for a level 5. Multiple fodder with Fusion subs. I mean, you could play an Infusion Gate deck as well. Yeah, like, it's definitely a card that doesn't look like super great on the outset. But like it's deck thinning, it's discarding, and its light attribute kind of all go together. Because for the price of one card, you're deck thinning 2. Like obviously you don't want to draw into 2 of them. But if you get essentially 2 cards out of your deck, then you got Pot of Greed, then you got Upstart Goblins and Jar of Grease, and you start to see how Chaos Turbo is turbo, right? In relation to the speed of the format. Hey, 5 likes, let's go. There are some good level 5 fusions. Oh yeah, a lot of really good. 5 and 6s are like pretty crazy. You don't really see fusions too terribly often in Go format, which is unfortunate, but usually when you do, they can hit pretty hard. Honestly, I feel like the one I see most of the time is like Gatling Dragon in like Reasoning Gate decks. Aside from like Thousand Eyes Restrict. But I think that's also because, you know, Chaos Turbo is like way more popular than Go Control and just other like meta contending decks are usually people play them more than like Go Control, like Earth Aggro and Burn and non-meta RGT. But certainly like a really good card, like the Metamorphosis. Even just to get some of the like vanilla fusions, right? Like Darkfire, Dragon, Flame Ghost, Guiltia, you know, those things that are just there for the attributes. And by the way, if you know, anyone's unaware that in GOAT format you have an unlimited extra deck. That's the rules. That's why if you see like deck list, the extra deck doesn't really matter, especially on Dueling Book. Dueling Book, you have access to the unlimited extra deck, which is really cool. Oh goodness. Did so much talking, my voice is going to be dead. But I like that my Go format. I don't talk about Go format enough. I feel like of like all the retro formats, it's like the one I talk about the least. That's partially because, you know, just so many channels do GOAT format content, so I never feel like I need to do much GOAT format content. Like I've done like one GOAT format video this year. I was talking about like the problem with what the actual problem with the ban list was. But I'm always here to like support the GOAT format scene. But I don't know. If I suppose if I have other ideas for Go format, like videos, I could definitely do that. Just need to think about them. But I have a whole list of video ideas, and it's a lot. I eventually need to get through. Yeah, these goats are so like they are sticking around. That's the trouble with some of this, especially like game one. Like game two, it's like you can side deck into stuff if you're side decking against it. But game one, it can be tough if the matchup isn't in your favor. I don't even really like Goat that much, but everybody plays and I like to play. So yeah, I mean fair enough. It's not everyone's cup of tea. I mean, the last couple of years, you have been seeing a lot more people kind of leave Goat format, whether because they like other formats or they find other formats that they prefer, or they just kind of, maybe a little bit tired and just need a break. Like, I think AGT just announced he's taking a break from Goats. And other players, too. Like, I enjoy playing Goat format a lot just because it does feel very, like, well-rounded with, like, the card pool and, like, the speed of the gameplay. And this is from a casual perspective. Multiple summons get old. I think it depends on the format, right? Like I think everything depends on the format, and also like how you're playing, right? Like, are you playing from like a casual perspective, right, where you're just playing whatever? So like, you can play like modern formats and play slow, fair decks in relation to like deck A and versus deck B, right? Like if you play modern with a friend, you could play a Celtic Guardian deck, and your friend could play a whatever, It just like depends like what you're like looking for. Like even like hat format, and like I think hat format's like really good like balancing with it, where you do get like summons and stuff like that, but both players are like really good tools to play with, and it's not too complicated if you know what you're playing with. Yo mom, what's up? Is Ojama meta? Yes and no. The deck, no, but the card Ojama Trio is really good in burn decks. So Ojama Trio, in a way, is meta, you could argue. So I got 23 people in stream? What the heck? I almost never have this many people. It's happened like once or twice. Maybe because I'm doing goat format stuff. I need to get one of those, what are those, like, popular brand, like, water cups? The one that has, like, the really tiny bottom, but then there's, like, you can fit it in cup holders. That's what I need. Oh, I tell you, I don't know if anyone here, like, likes coffee or whatever, but I made this, like, brown sugar, like, espresso latte today. Oh, it was so good. Oh, the snatch seal on the Chaos Sork? That's a good snatch seal. Also, I was totally like zoning out. I'm assuming Alvarado got it back with a faith. What deck do I play? I don't play competitively. I do have a couple decks made. Like, I've made Goat Control before. I have some other, like, jank decks I've made. I've made a, like, a plant return deck, which I think evolved to Plant Chaos. Which is really bad, but I think it's fun, so, Play what you want to play. Like, if I play competitively, though, I mean, I'm a big fan of Go Control because I like the classics, but knowing my play style, though, and I say this all the time, I'm the kind of guy, like, I would love to play, like, meticulously and, like, controlling, but whenever I play, I just want to be, like, basic aggressive. So I feel like Earth aggro would be like the one that would be best for my. But I do like Reason Gate Turbo. I am one of those guys. Also, double A with the victory. Charlie Cook made defeat, signing for game number 2. Yo, Electric Hellion, what's up? Love your series on the OCG and retro formats. In general, I appreciate the research and attention to detail. I haven't seen anyone else make the videos on the history of Yu-Gi-Oh like that. Thank you. Yeah, and that's why I started making it. Because no one was really doing anything like quite like that, right? It's not like I'm just playing, like I'm dueling, you know, and being like, oh, this is the card pool at the time. A lot of research, a lot of things that I find out later that I'm like, oh, I wish I could go back and like redo this. But it's a lot of fun though. Like, you know, the only reason why I started the Yu-Gi-Oh! OCG series was because everyone kept asking for more OCG content. So I did that very first Volume 1 video like a year ago. And like a month or two later, I'm like, you know, I should make this into a series going over each of them. Because everyone's liking this stuff. So, I mean, because people like you liked it so much, you know, that's what maybe, like, start doing more of that. Do you got some fun OCG stuff in the pipeline as well? It's like next month is Booster 5 video, I believe. Okay, this we can skip ahead. Okay, there we go. Back. The benefit of watching a replay is that you can adjust timing as needed. How lucky are you if you get 1 anniversary tin? Would you pull SP Little Knight? I do not consider myself a lucky person. I would love to pull an SP Little Knight. I don't own one, but that would be fun. I don't consider myself lucky, though. I should get one of those tins, though. Honestly, I haven't bought cards in a while. I would like to get the core of that new Full Metal archetype, like the Full Metal Morph stuff, because I think that's fun. And a graceful back-to-back from Charlie and Double A. Discarding the Serpent. Beautiful. So that's what you want to see. Dig through your deck, get as many options. So isn't that like the catch-22, right? The more options you have, the harder it is to like decide. But you have more options, so you can theoretically make like the best possible choice. I feel like I have decision paralysis a lot. I don't know if anyone else has that, where you try to make a decision and you just like, I don't know what to do, so you just kind of freeze up. Like discards the Mirror Force. Interesting. Like I'm trying to prove upon that stuff by just like, if I think of something, like bam, do it. Just do it. Just do it. Ugh. I feel like me pulling cards from packs is usually I'm pretty unlucky, but sometimes I get a cool. I remember when Cybernetic Revolution came out. The first pack I got, I pulled a Cyber Dragon. So, you know. Also, don't underestimate Spy and Attack mode either, because 2400 is a lot, and TT will just clean that up. But then a Kaiku and a BLS. Oh my god, dude. Those are like the two worst, because with Kaiku, like if I'm Alvarado, I can't summon a Chaos Monster now with that on the field. And he's banishing the Serpent if that attack gets through. Oh. Like, Serpent is such a good resource. It's an infinite energy resource. But the Ring of Destruction, rightfully so, on the Kaiku, willing to take that 3k from the BLS. I totally get it. Totally get it. Ring is such a bonkers card. I did a stream earlier this year about, like, I think it was earlier this year, where I was, like, changing to go for my ban list just as a thought process of, you know, like what cards are like really bad, what cards aren't as bad as like Upper Deck originally thought. And Ring of Destruction, I do think, you know, in a perfect world, probably should be banned. But like, I wouldn't like actually ban it for like a GOAT format thing, because then it wouldn't be GOAT format. I feel like I have to specify that every time I discuss stuff like modified formats like that. A fun idea is to play 1v1 with a deck randomizer. Both players with random decks try to adapt a fair way to win. There is cubes. I don't know if you've heard of those. Like GOAT format cube and like other like card games have cubes, right? Where you have like a cube of cards and you basically just do a draft format where both players like pick cards and you know duel with those. With like a queue with specifically selected cards. And it looks like Alvarado cited into a chaos control strategy as well, perhaps to play in more so in the pacing of chaos control and try to take the game that way. And a snatch steal on a BLS, another beautiful snatch steal. Damn, remember that card? Did that card come back? For the ban list? Is it still banned? I know Change of Heart came back. I feel like Snatch Steal's at like 1 or something like that. Yo, Cosmo, what's up? This was bumping. Oh, yeah. Like, this whole World Championships was such a blast to see. And if anyone's watching and, you know, wants to watch the full thing, in the pinned comment, I do have the link to the actual, like, GOAT format YouTube channel. So, if you're not subscribed to them, like, give them a sub. Cosmo does a lot of, like, great, like, work alongside GOAT format. So go check that out. The Chaos Orc banishing the BLS, taking down the Big Daddy BLS. See, Alvarado's thinking, as represented by the Furret. I don't know why it's a Furret. I wasn't there for the inception of that. But a Sook. See, a Sook with like a Chaos Orc or even BLS is interesting because they can reset the effect. Because when it's face down, the game's like, I don't know what this is. So when you flip it face up, it's like, oh, okay, it's a BLS, but not the same BLS as before. Now, if you have a card that designates this card, then the game does read that as that card. So there is a distinction within certain cards. But game mechanics is a funny thing in Yu-Gi-Oh! Going to the end phase. It looks like there's some lag. Dueling Book has lag sometimes. At least there wasn't anything like too horrendously happening on Dueling Book's end during the World Championships, because especially during Grand Finals, you do not want to see that. By the way, I'm pretty excited. I do believe I have finished all the videos I plan on producing for this year. Very happy to do that, so I can start working on stuff for next year. Actually, I have one video for next year already done. This is how far in advance I produce videos, by the way. I try to do months in advance if possible. In fact, I think the next video I probably should start producing is the next Yu-Gi-Oh! CG for January. That's wild. 2025? Oh my god. Everything's getting so old. Which, 2025, 10 years of GOAT format when it comes to like the spring summer period. That's pretty wild. Like, we got to do something for that. Like, actually, not to spoil anything. Well, it's not even spoiling because nothing's came to fruition yet. But I have an idea in my head that I've had for a little bit. For a series that. When Yu-Gi-Oh! CG ends for like the Series 1 stuff, I do plan on doing a new series I'm kind of excited about. But I'll worry about that when I get to that point. not quite there yet, but anyway. Ooh, the right Geki break, pitching a Serp. See, this is like how good Serpent is, right? It just keeps coming back, and just bam. Yeah, like the idea kind of like I'm not gonna spoil anything, but it's tangential to like another idea I've had in the past, and it's kind of like it's almost like hyper fixating on like my history series a little bit. I remember at the beginning of the year I wanted to start doing more side history stuff because I did like 2 videos of that like in the past, and it just never happened. So maybe at some point I can like also do an episode of that like once in a blue moon, because that the side history is when I did like archetype coverage, where I did like the history of gravekeepers and skull servants. That's nothing. There's so much things I want to do, so many ideas that run in my head. I don't know if anyone like reads One Piece, but I'm like Dr. Vegapunk with my brain just, but like it's not smartness, it's just like Yu-Gi-Oh video ideas. Like I have like a whole Google like doc of just like random ideas that come to my head. You know, it's kind of amazing. Charlie Cook had a really strong start to this. But like Alvarado, just for how meticulous he and consistent he plays, just life finds a way with this man. Punk Records, yeah, Punk Records. Yeah, Charlie Cook wasn't like he hasn't been drawn particularly well, and there has been like a few sus plays here and there. Like I'm not one to like be like, oh, that's the wrong play because you know A equals B equals C, but you know when you're against Alvarado, like he snipes out weaknesses. Like we talked about it on my In the Zone podcast when he was on that, of just like, you know, in like outside he is Yugi, but inside on the dueling arena he is Kaiba. And sometimes that's just what you need to do. Oh, that's another thing I want to do more of, is In the Zone. I know it gets like no views, but I like talking to people. Actually, the last one I was going to do got canceled because the guy like ghosted me, but I'd like to get more people on that. If I ever get time. This like late summer fall has been like pretty busy. Oh, and a nasty T. That is some sewage water TT. Ooh. It's very back and forth. But Charlie Coke, even though he is giving Anthony an extra 1,000 LP, he is up currently 1 card. Currently, they're neutral now. Serpent, such a good card. See, this is all because he used that ring on that Kaiku. And then the Pot of Greed. Like, I said this earlier, this guy has protagonist energy. Oh, and the meta. I was going to suck up that face down. Crazy. For those who don't know, if with Thousand Eyes Restrict, you can absorb face down monsters. And if it's face down, Thousand Eyes does have 0 attack and defense. So you can't really like attack with it, but you know, its function of like taking monsters and preventing anything else from attacking, you know, can be very powerful. But you do have to be careful that you cannot attack either with any other monsters aside from Thousand Eyes Restrict. Also, how come we haven't got any like Thousand Eyes Restrict like retrains yet? Well, I guess we got Millennium Eyes Restrict, but I feel like we get more relinquished stuff than Thousand Eyes. I'm still waiting on like my fan-made card in my head is Millennium Eyes Restrict, and I would love to see that. Yay, Cheshire, what's up? By the way, Cheshire, I freaking love that Halloween design you made. That is sick. I have to get one of those whatever merch for that. If anyone's interested in some sick merch I'm talking about, go to Shark Robot and look up Second Wind. There's this like spooky Halloween phoenix. It's very tight. And I hear they have a shirt that's in glow in the dark. There's also a mug, a playmat, and a poster too. So you got choices. And then there you see the benefit of using some like Thunder Dragon, right? Snatch Steel, Tribute over with the TD, just to get rid of the card. Because that's the other thing with Snatch Steel too. Is like you don't want to give your opponent too much life points by just having it be on the field. Or when a Cypher Soldier, do you call it Cypher Soldier or do you call it Kinetic Soldier? It's one of those cards they got a name change. Oh, and the scapegoat from Anthony, he ain't dead yet. Not in this Earth. Yeah, because I was saying like at the beginning of the month, like, hey, we need some like Halloween merch, and then I was told like, we should have done this like a month ago. It's too. I'm like, so I'm glad we got something going, and it is very sick. So you know, good job with that. I'm excited to see the. I'm sure we'll probably get some sort of like holiday thing too. I wouldn't be surprised. Yeah, Anthony definitely had that like conversion side, but he is keeping some of his like turbo-y stuff in there, like Upstart Goblin. So you know, even so, it's not going to be this like 1-to-1 between the two finalists here, grand finalists. Currently Alvarado's turn in main phase 1. Spooky Season merch sells crazy well. Well, it's spooky. I mean, if people are diehard spooky people. Well, yeah, I mean, you got the fun, like real fun spooky stuff. You got the whole like Day of the Dead and stuff, right? Like all the sugar skulls and like more of like a spiritual Halloween. I wish I could do more like Halloween decorating, but one of these days I'll do something like that. But I've been watching like a lot of horror movies this month. That's always my thing. Oh, and the Spy just blocks all 4 of those cards with that 2K booty. Like, it's just amazing how well Alvarado has, like, been keeping this game up. Like, Charlie has certainly been trying to, like, take him down. And that is the good hit. You could take care of, like, some other threats, but if Kaiku's down, you could potentially, like, do chaos plays. But a Mirror Force will take care of the Sook. The Sook has been duped. And then a face down. Like, you know, Charlie's, like, regardless, he still can't take care of this lone spy on the field. Now they're both just, like, resetting stuff. So Coke's got a set. Alvarado's got a set. And when you know your opponent's got spy, there's always that thought in the back of your mind that could be a serpent, like face down. Yeah, Dia de Muertos is huge. Also, I could decorate more, but my house is not very decorable. Hey, costume part, nice. Yeah, I'm going to one this Saturday. Yeah, I don't have like a lot of like I just live in an apartment, so there's only so much space I have and money to go into it. Like, if I had like a house, I feel like I would love to decorate just the crap out of that with Halloween stuff, you know, and then when that's done, put it like in a box in like a garage or something. Like I would love to do something like that. But it's hard for me to justify being in like, you know, a small apartment. Man, look, this feels just like it went from both players having like 3 cards to them just getting all their resources back up. And like, you know, this is a pressure cooker, right? It's gonna explode at some point. The music should still be playing. Yeah, because I put the music is like a 30-minute music track and it's set on loop, so we should be good. It's been like almost an hour, so if it had loop already, it would have stopped. But if y'all liking the stream, consider dropping a like. We're almost at 10 likes. YouTube likes engagement. Currently, the players are just kind of just like chilling out right now, just think about what the right move to do in this kind of awkward situation. You know, like what do you do with Deco, right? Do you attack into like the kinetic? Do you attack into the Kochi? Do you attack into the face down? Do you potentially crash against like the, I don't know, the Thunder Dragon? So like they keep their monsters on the field, but they can't. But so the thing is, you don't want Kaiki to attack the Deco. That's like the big thing, I feel like, because then you're gonna lose monsters in the graveyard. Me guy, what's up? Anywhere to find lists? You know, I couldn't find the list online. They might be on the GOAT format Discord, but I couldn't find the list on like format library or goatformat.com. They might be on like the Go Format channel, which is pinned in the comment, which will link to the video that I'm watching. He chooses to attack the Cypher Soldier. Interesting. I guess he wants to keep Deco on field, but get rid of one of their monsters, so fair enough. Hey, Lead Lover, what's up? Yo, Led, I finished the Chimera Ant arc. I watched the first episode of the following arc earlier today. Yep, no problem. Just trying to. I did think about the deck lists. Like they are available. They're other places. I really like the themes, like the Chimera Ant arc of like humanity and like the hypocrisy of basically war. And that's and Anthony Oliver he just admitted defeat. See that pressure cooker, it explodes, and usually when it explodes in Control's favor. Yeah, like the duality of it, and just the yeah, there's a lot I like about it. I feel like it's one of those things that will sit better with me than, you know, because I liked all the micro decisions everyone was making, but like I feel like when you're watching in real time, it's almost like you're kind of like, all right, come on. But it does feed into like Togashi having those constant fights of people that aren't in like the same league with each other. So I'm gonna skip ahead here. And which I think they did a good job of trying to, you know, solve the problem of the bad guy being like Ten Tails Madara level of strong. I wish Colt did more in the arc though. I feel like they were setting him up early on to do more, and he just kind of like didn't do anything. Though the MVP for me though, probably Moral. I really liked Moral, the guy with the big pipe. And I'm kind of sad that there's only like one more like relatively small arc. It's like, damn. He did enough? I don't know. Like, they gave more to the freaking octopus guy. Faith with the double pot of greed. Faith is so good, right? Just bring back a spell, and spells are just way more strong. Yeah, but that's like... I don't know. It's a bit iffy. Because, like, they did the whole thing of him getting Nen. Like, he was part of that. He was, like, the second person in the whole... Like, the squad leaders to get Nen. And he didn't even, like... do anything. I don't know. Like, even Palm did stuff. Even, Nav did stuff. And he freaking went bald. On the trap, does shoot. Trap is... Now, that's a bonkers card. It's one Anthony cited into it, because his main deck does not have trap, which is interesting, but it makes a lot of sense, right? If you know you're going to face probably more variety of decks, you're not going to want to have it in defaultly. Like, I feel like I would only main deck maximum 2, and then slide in a third if I wanted to do so. Ooh, a Heavy Storm. Yeah, Welfin definitely surprised me. The freaking scene with him in Miurem was, like, pretty tense. Also, like, the names of all the Chimera Ants are pretty bad. Like, I think I get the point he's going for with, you know, them being, like, not much human-y names. Also, the Asura Priest. That's a good side choice. Because, you know, because if Anthony did, in fact, keep his control side, then Asura Priest can just blitz through them. But yeah, Neferpito, Miurem, what was the other one? Men Thuthu Yupi. Like, these are terrible names. Shia Puff. What is it? Like, is this supposed to be like a Shia LaBeouf? Like, what's going? You know, like, I feel like through the arc, you just shortened like them all. And it's like you could just kept them short to begin with. I don't know. Oh, Komugi was really good. Like, Komugi and Miurem, like, their whole interaction was like my favorite part. Like, them just playing it wasn't Shogi. It was whatever game they were playing. Like, that was gold. Love that. Oh, and the scene with Gon and Pito, like at the castle or whatever. Like, that was pretty intense. And I am also rewatching Yu Hakusho at the same time for like the millionth time. I'm kind of like split on certain things because I feel like there's definitely more depth with the Yu Hakusho or with a Hunter x Hunter, excuse me. But I just think Yu is a little bit more palatable. Like, I can watch Dark Tournament and be like, all right, they have like good subtlety and like action in it. Sword, get long. Yeah, whereas the Hunter x Hunter has like it's way more like dynamic, but you do kind of have to like sit through a lot more. Whereas Yu is both literally and metaphorically more punchy. But that said, when I do finish it, I do want to watch the 90s Hunter x Hunter. Whatever best way for me to watch that is anyway. So yeah, I can't really tell what Anthony, if he like cited back into Turbo. I mean, he's got like the TD. Maybe he did. So we're almost at 10 likes. Just need 2 more likes. Come on, peeps. Oh, when freaking Netero did his like final attack and his like face like got all, oh my god, that was freaky. Like, I can imagine. I do think like the recent Hunter x Hunter anime does a really good job expressing Tagashi's art style, and that's probably one criticism with Yu Yu Hakusho that I have. Is I feel like his art style isn't expressed enough in that medium. Like, there's a couple times, specifically like the chapter Black stuff and like Elder Toguro, I feel like he does a good job, but because Tagashi's art uses a lot of like darkness, a lot of like line works. Yo, Lee, what's up? So you excited for the new anime or for the new Yu-Gi-Oh game come out next year? Yeah, the collection thing. Yeah, I don't know if the list they gave us is like the final list or if they're gonna add like more games, but from what they have already, I'm excited. I do wish they added Forbidden Memories, but considering it's all portable titles, it makes sense. And especially since we're getting a lot of games that we never got before. I am curious if some games are going to have like a Western port, such as like DM6 is a Stairway to the Destiny Duel, I believe. If that's going to be changed when like the Western audience gets that, or if it's going to remain that but just like translated, I'm curious on that. So, you know, it would be a good time for me to play those, wait to play those games, so at least, which I would like to play. 'Cause I was thinking recently about playing DM1, but if we're going to get an official port of it, I might as well wait till February. I enjoy Tagashi's casual side art in the manga for Yu Yu. Makuro is my favorite too. Oh, which one's Makuro? Was he the one of the three kings? Makuro. I'm excited for the 3 GBC. Yeah. Well, technically one of them was like Stairway to the Destiny Duel. I think DM5 was the only one that wasn't like ported over in any capacity. But we're getting like Eternal Duel of Soul. We're getting Dark Duel Stories, Sacred Cards, Rechef. Like we're getting fed good. Yeah, the Three King. Yeah. That was some Togashi art for sure. I really liked the guy with the big blade. What was his name? Shiz something. I feel like his story's kind of ended. Yeah, I don't know. I feel like that was what's up, Jaylee? I feel like his you can definitely see some Charlie Koch, some misplays. Like you probably should have mind controlled the Faith. Yeah, the doctor guy who did like Hiei surgery. Not Doctor, the character in Chapter Black, which that one was very Togashi like style animated. Chapter Black's so good. It makes me so angry that the ending is what it is. The Raigeki break on end phase is like you love to see it, right? Because at that point your opponent like they committed, they can't do anything about it. And to get the Singleton Ring of Destruction, you got to be feeling good. That's like one less power card you have to think about, because I don't think anyone is playing Mask of Darkness. Also, yeah, we got to 10 likes. Let's go. Woohoo! Now maybe one day I'll hit that 30k dono goal down there. $17 for 30 out of $30. Who would have thought? Yeah, I feel like through these finals you can kind of see, because like Koch's also in Germany, right? So it's not like the best time. Oh, and that's it. That is it. I haven't watched Jujutsu Kaisen. No. Oh, and that is it. He just, that mind control must have like spiraled him down to something. Like look at the look at this card difference here between both. I'm gonna pause here. We got 1, 2, 3 on Charlie's side. On double A, you got 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. That is a 7 card difference. Isn't that insane? Like, you must have been drawing something fierce. And not to discredit Charlie, he played respectably. A few misplays here and there, a few bad draws here and there, but Double A just, he figures it out. Anthony Alvarado, like this was his year. Like I almost wish he won that he wins next year, just so it's like 10, 20 years between Go format and this. I hear a lot of people talk about Jujutsu Kaisen. I mean, eventually I'll finish Hunter x Hunter sooner than later. In which, let's find another anime to watch. But I do want to check out the 90s Hunter x Hunter first and other stuff. But it's also, like, a good place to watch it is always kind of hard. Yeah, Alvaro was asking why he didn't take the Faith. I think Charlie he's probably just like, yeah. Like, imagine getting the grand finals of the world championships for GOAT. A lot of money's on the line. Like, Charlie's still going to get some money. I think he gets, like, it was like around 1,200. And I think Alvarado gets somewhere 20, 22, 24, something like that. Like, it's a good chunk of change. I don't know if they were yeah, the deck list. Go skip ahead here. I don't know why it's blurry. The rest of the video isn't blurry, it's just the deck. If I skip ahead, it's going to be blurry too. Nah. Yeah, so this was Alvarado's deck list, for those curious. So yeah, this is like a really fascinating, like, deck here. Well, I can use Night Anime, but, like, while I'm watching Hunter x Hunter, I'm watching on Prime, and I'm watching on my TV, like, my bedroom, where I can just chill and do that. I tried watching, like, Night Anime on, like, the web browser, on my like, TV, and it is just, like, the most, like, it does not want to work right. And that's where I usually, like, watch my stuff. I don't usually watch stuff on my computer. Like, if I watch on my computer, I could. But usually if I'm on my computer, I'm working, But I suppose I could. Yeah, look at this, like, interesting deck. Like, you look at it, it's like, oh, it's just Chaos Turbo. But when you think... I was talking about this at the beginning of the stream. There's a lot of uniqueness about it. At least from, like, Anthony's... how he plays. Do you have a laptop that connects? I do have a laptop. It feels like so much work having to connect every time just to watch, like, an episode or two. Because, like, usually I watch, like, maybe, like, one episode or two, like, during my lunch break. Or, like, in the evening or something. Maybe, like, after work. Ugh, on the phone. I know these are, like, all excuses. But that's just convenience. Like, even if Because I remember I tried downloading the Hunter x Hunter, like, the 2011 show, but then it was, like, it didn't have, like, the subs baked in, and, like, it doesn't really work on, like, my PS5 without, like, with the sub files, and it's just, they don't make it easy. Why is watching anime such a task? Goodness. Yeah, like, look at this deck, though. You got the 3 of Faiths. There's so many 3 of Faiths, the Koichi, Spy. Like, the monster-wise, it is very consistent. And same thing with the back row cards, and where it can deal with a lot more situations than just, like, a CT mirror. With, like, the Moons, the Nox. You got the Dust Shoots in the side. You got these conversion side. These are stuff to take care of certain things like Burn. You got the Walks and... like, warrior matchups, you got the 2 Zombiras. You got the Walks for time as well. Another Saku's also for warrior matchups. So, it's like, he really set himself up for success on top of being, like, a super skilled duelist as well. You could just download 9 apps. Yeah, but I need the... But they're all subs, right? Subs are, like, annoying to deal with unless I watch them on my computer. Which, again, I suppose I could. Because I don't think they're, like, streaming anywhere, right? Oh, they're on YouTube? Oh, well, then that makes it easy. Yeah, I don't think JZ posted the, Charlie's deck here, but, like, yeah, this deck's crazy. I switch this. Wow, look at me. I mean, that was, like, the main thing for this stream. I mean, if I wasn't doing this, as, like, if I didn't speed up the thing, this would have taken longer. Yeah, I'll have to check out the quality. Again, like, I'm not done with the 2011 anime yet, so, like, I'll still have time. Like, I'm not watching it yet. Like, I'm not watching it right now. Oh, goodness. Um, yeah, this upcoming Sunday, we got the top 10 worst Pharaoh servant cards, which you can watch currently on my if you're a patron. Wednesday, Top Deck Guys, going to be like a spooky zombie themed episode. And then Thursday, Janjo Live, where we'll be continuing the monsters with normal monsters. We're giving effects to DM normal monsters, and that will kind of bleed like the following weeks as able to. But yeah, it's a relatively short stream, but this was the topic I decided to do. So, thank you all for joining, and until I see y'all next time, have a wonderful day.